Hey guys, it's Carnage6 back again with another review, and this time we've got a review based on probably one of my favorite video games of all time, and that's Bioshock. Here we have the Bioshock 2 figures from NECA. Originally I was planning to do this as a series of separate reviews, but I kind of got lazy and things started piling up, so here we are. I'm going to do all of these figures in one review. So let's get to it. First, I'm going to start off by showing you probably one of my favorite figures of the line, and that's the Little Sister. Now, some of you may not be familiar with this packaging if you're in North America. I bought this from a seller in England. Apparently, I don't know exactly how it works, but when you pre-ordered Bioshock 2, you got this figure. I think it's a pretty cool pre-order bonus, and I wish we got it here. Unfortunately, we didn't. You usually have to buy this figure. I think it comes in a 2-pack with an Eleanor figure from NECA or a couple other ways, but if you want the North American version, you have to look for it to come with another figure, not single-carded like this. Out of the package, I think this figure looks great, just exactly how I'd want a Little Sister figure to look like. As you can tell, I think NECA got the details exactly right. She comes with her little syringe needle gun that she uses to extract the atom from splicers. And I mean, just look at the detail on the paint job. There's, blood-stained hands and feet, and the dress is all like dirty and highly detailed paint job. It's amazing. I love this figure. Okay, now I'm going to show you the articulation as best I can, and I'm a little bit hesitant to do that because I've seen some other YouTubers' videos, and because the arms are so thin, I mean, look at the arm compared to my finger. They've had the arms snap off and things like that, so I'm going to be kind of careful. I might not be able to tell all the articulation because I'm a little bit cautious, so keep that in mind. Anyway, the head seems to be on a ball joint. It seems to be able to go any which way you want, however looking up, however looking down, anything. That's pretty awesome. And the arm here seems to be, I guess, yeah, it's on a ball joint. It can go 360 in and out. The elbow here, it appears it's just on a joint that goes back and forth, but that's all you need. I don't think it turns, and I'm not going to try it because I'm scared of breaking it. The feet, they don't seem to have too much articulation. I think the legs go forward and back and the knees bend. I think that's everything. And, oh yes, and there's a joint here where she can bend forward and bend back. That's pretty cool. And next up, we're going to talk about the Ladysmith Splicer. Now, I think right now this is the only splicer that's available, but apparently there's a couple more coming out. So if you like splicers, hang on, you're going to have a couple more to choose from. And here she is out of the package, and boy is she one ugly mother, well, you know. Again, this is one of my favorite characters from the game, so I had to get the figure. And yeah, I guess she does hold up to what she looks like in the game. I mean, there is a ton of detail. Whether you're going to like this figure or not depends entirely on personal preference. Okay, so why don't we get a look at this gross detail up close. So now hopefully I can show you the articulation. Again, as we've had before, the head, sorry about that, I'm kind of too close to the camera. The head is on a ball joint. The arms are on ball joints. And again on the arm there's this weird cut joint that doesn't go back and forth. It's just swiveled along this edge. Same with both sides. I don't know how I feel about that. There seems to be oh yeah, there's waist articulation, sorry. Actually, the waist is surprisingly on a ball joint. That's pretty cool. Now here's the weird part. There's no knee articulation because there's no place for any right there. And on mine, I don't know if anyone else's is like this, but the legs will not move at all. Not one bit. I'm guessing it's because of the way they're shaped and the accessory that she comes with, which I'll show you next. And now we're going to talk about accessories. Now the one necessary accessory that she comes with, and I will show you this. See, maybe you can do it, get her to stand on her own, but because of the way these feet are shaped, she's just going to fall over every time. So, thankfully, they did include a stand. And I'm going to assume you put it in this way. And yeah, see? So now, no trouble standing. But without that stand, if you don't have that stand, forget it. She's not going to stand. Now another accessory she comes with is her rolling pin, so she can bash you on the head. That's pretty neat. Now we come to the accessory that I like the best. It's the Tommy gun. This is definitely the way I would choose to display this figure. And finally, she also comes with the cracked bunny mask, or whatever kind of mask it is, from the game. And again, if I had to display her, I would definitely display her with the mask on and with the Tommy gun, as I have here. To me, that's what looks the best. But again, personal preference, you're probably going to find some other way to display her. But for me, this is the reason why I bought this figure. I want to display her just like this. Now, the one problem I have is the mask. Now, while it is an amazing looking mask, highly detailed, just like the game, I had a heck of a time trying to get this thing to stay on. There's no like way that it sticks on. You kind of have to like mush it into the face until you get it to stick. There's no peg that it plugs into. There's no strap around it to keep it on the head. That's really disappointing. If you just touch it like a little bit, well, now it's not doing it now, but well, it is kind of. I can tell you, it comes off really easily. If you display this thing, this mask is going to fall off a lot. So, I mean, I might customize it to put a strap on it or something, but the way it comes, not good. Not good at all. So again, this is a figure you're either going to really love or really hate, depending on your tastes. I really love it. I love this character in the game. I can see how some people might get turned off by the extreme grotesqueness of this figure. But to me, I still think it's pretty cool. What do you think? Alright, and now we come to one of the bigger box set figures. This is the Subject Omega with Little Sister. And as you can see, it comes in this big box, and it was a Toys R Us exclusive. Now, the thing about this one that I'm not going to be able to review is I got it off eBay, and if you turn it around, you see what it says there, Bunny Splicer Mask. Yeah, this is supposed to come with a life-size Bunny Splicer mask, like the Ladysmith Splicer, you know, that mask that I just showed that she wears. It's supposed to have a life-size one, but the guy on eBay wasn't selling it with the mask, and I didn't really want the mask. To be honest with you, I didn't even really want Subject Omega. I only wanted for the variant Little Sister. But let's take it out and look at it, and maybe I'll change my mind. And there we go. Now, this pack I'm kind of the least excited about because it's really just a repaint pack. Subject Omega is actually just a repaint of Subject Delta, and the Little Sister is obviously just a repaint as well. Again, I really like in Bioshock the Big Daddy and the Little Sister. So I kind of wanted to get a whole bunch of variants of the Little Sister and Big Daddy if I can find them. So for me, the Subject Omega is kind of it's good, like don't get me wrong. I love the way it looks right now, but it wasn't my primary reason for buying this. So why don't I just put on all his accessories and show you. Okay, so I'm not going to talk much about the Little Sister figure because it's pretty much the same figure that I showed in the beginning of the video, just with a different paint scheme. And she comes with a Big Daddy doll, as you can see. Other than that, same figure. Here we have Subject Omega. Now while I'm not a huge fan of the character, even I have to admit, he looks pretty damn cool. Yeah, I'm definitely not disappointed that I got this figure with the little sister. Now for his accessories, as you can see in his right hand, he comes with this big ass gun. And on his back you have his backpack with these canisters here. Now this part was kind of tricky to attach, and I'm not entirely sure if these wires are going to stay attached there, but hopefully they will. Alright, so now for articulation. And for a big, bulky figure, he actually has quite a bit. Now, obviously this head is not going to move anywhere. You know, with these wires attached so loosely, if you move the head, they would fall out, so it doesn't move. The arm, again, looks like it's on a ball joint. You can go in and out 360 degrees. It turns at the elbow, and it has a joint at the elbow too, which goes, I don't know if you can see that, but it goes back and forth. Also, the hands turn 360, and they actually pivot in and out. That's pretty cool. Now, another surprise is that his waist is on a ball joint, so you can get a lot of range of motion there. And the legs are a little bit disappointing, but still quite a lot of articulation. They only have cut joints right up here that turn, and then again they have some right there, but they also feature a joint at the knee. It moves a little bit, not much, but you can get some motion there, and the boots of course turn. So all in all, pretty good. Okay, one quick thing I wanted to add also is that when I was fooling around with this articulation here, and I was bending this thing, the arm kind of popped right out. Now I was able to pop it back in, but still that's kind of distressing, so it's something that you might want to look out for. And next up we have the unmasked Eleanor Lamb figure, and she comes with a saved little sister. Now I believe this was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, I'm not sure, but I think it was. The regular version of this figure came with a mask on that you could not remove. And here they are. They look pretty nice. And again, I'll first start off by talking about the little sister, because it's pretty much, again, the same figure that we've gotten, well, that I've showed you twice before. Except this is the saved version, so she actually looks like a regular person, instead of all creepy and decomposing. And here we have the Eleanor Lamb figure. Now, as I said before, the first version of this figure came with the mask on. I guess it's kind of a spoiler, but yeah, in the beginning you don't know really who this person is. She's the big sister. Obviously later in the game we find out that's Eleanor Lamb, so if you haven't played the game, sorry. Okay, now I'm going to do my best to show you the detail and the articulation on this. As you can see, she has her two needle guns. Those are both well done. As with all NECA stuff, I mean, their stuff is made of hard plastic, so you might want to be careful with these things because you can snap them pretty easily. And as for articulation, well, on the head, again, she's got the ball-jointed head, move pretty much anywhere. And on the arms, again, it's ball-jointed, it looks to be, so it can move all over the place. Both sides. Now, this one does have a joint here on the elbow that can move, if I can get it, back and forth. Now this side has it too, but the problem is it seems to be right where the needle gun thing is here, needle weapon, so you don't really get that much range of motion there. That's a little bit disappointing. And the hands, well, not this side, that's kind of weird. Actually, this hand doesn't want to bend. I don't know if that's just my figure, but this hand isn't going anywhere. But this hand on this side is on a ball joint, so not sure what's going on there. And again, there's on here, on the abs there's an ab joint, goes back and forth. There's no side articulation there. And here on the top of the legs we have some movement. Again, it looks like a kind of a ball joint. It moves all over the place on both sides. And Yeah, okay. I can't seem to get this to bend. This, well, it looks like the legs are supposed to bend, but I don't know, maybe because of this contraption here, they don't. I don't know. Mine, again, they look like they're supposed to bend at the knees, but I don't really want to fuss with them too much because I'm worried about snapping these things off. Anyway, I think they're supposed to bend, but not sure. And on the feet, and this is kind of weird. All on this side seems to be stuck on this side on my figure. This is stuck, and this joint was stuck. But on this side, again, it has the normal, again, it looks like a ball joint, and it does move, so I don't know what's going on there, but pretty decent articulation on this figure. Well, this figure looks really great. I do have a little bit of a complaint, and I'm just going on memory here, but I remember the first version, the masked version, actually had a huge backpack right there, and I think you could put like a little sister in it or something, but it was a big, huge like air canister and backpack, I'm pretty sure, and for some reason they did not give us that in this release, which kind of sucks because she actually does come with a little sister that you could put in there, and she doesn't have it. So again, I'm just going off memory. I think that's what the original figure came with, the masked one. If that's true, then not good that they didn't include it in this version, especially since you're paying for a San Diego Comic-Con figure, which are normally more expensive than the regular figures. And finally, we get to the big daddy of them all, the Big Daddy. And this is the figure that I was most excited for. I just love the design of it, and it's an awesome character in the game. So let's take this out. I can't wait. And now, here he is out of the box, the Big Daddy. And I gotta say, so far, he's looking pretty awesome. This is the figure I was most psyched about getting. He's my favorite character from the game, and I mean, come on, he's just plain cool looking. So now for accessories, Big Daddy does not come with a lot. Basically, he comes with just 2 canisters that you stick on his back. As you can see, though, there's a lot of detail and paintwork put into this. And this one as well. As you can see, there's a little steam gauge, it looks like, up there. Pretty nice. Okay, so now for articulation, I'm going to do this as best as I can. Obviously, because of this huge cage set up here, there's not going to be any articulation in the head, because you just break all this stuff. Again, this is hard plastic, so you might want to be careful about how you handle it. And now we have shoulder joints. Now mine are really stiff, so I'm not going to play around with them much, but it does go 360, and it does move in and out. It's supposed to. I'm pretty sure it does, but mine are kind of stuck, and I don't want to mess with them for fear of breaking them. And on the elbow, we've got articulation there, and it goes, oops, it goes in and out as well. It does. Now the hand does spin here. And waist articulation, we get none, which is to be expected because of the design of the figure. And on the upper leg here, we do get some movement. Again, it feels like it's on a ball joint. It goes in and out, and it does go pivot around. But again, there's not much range of motion, but you do get some. And we have, on the knee, we have a joint that turns, and it does go, you know, back and forth a little bit, not much, again, because of the design. Both sides are the same. And the boot does turn as well. Now, the one part you're probably wondering most about is the drill. Now, yes, to answer your question, yes, it does spin, but on mine it's really tight. So it doesn't really, you'd want it to spin really fast to recreate what happens in the game, but on mine it's not going to happen. It would be nice if there was like a little action feature, like you spin something here and this thing spins really fast, but that didn't happen. Still, since I'm going to put this on my shelf, I really don't care. I get some articulation, and for me that's good enough. And again, the design of the figure kind of inhibits a lot of articulation. So yeah, this figure is amazing. it is the one I wanted most from the line, and I am not disappointed. Now, there is one thing I should tell you, and that is they've just released a new version of this figure, and to be honest, I wish I would have gotten that one instead of this one, but I kind of bought this one a while ago, and I'm only now getting around to opening it. But anyway, the new thing that the new figure adds is that the lights on the front, these eye lights or whatever you call them, they actually light up. Like, they're not just painted on like that. And in my opinion, that would have been really, really amazing and would have pushed this figure over the edge. So now that you have the new version, I can't really see getting this version. The other thing about the new version is that the lights can light up different colors. So you can make them in different moods. Angry or, calm or whatever. So yeah, that kind of makes me wish I would have waited. But, I mean, this one's awesome too. Don't get me wrong, I'm definitely not sorry I picked them up. But, yeah, if you had to buy them now, I'd say go for the new light-up version. Well, that's it for my review of the NECA Bioshock figures. All I have to say is, if you're a fan of the game, you gotta rush right out and buy these figures. The level of detail, paint, sculpting, just everything about these figures is top-notch. Again, I'm just really a fan of the Big Daddy and the Little Sister, so that's why I bought them. I think they look great together. But no matter what figure you decide to buy from this line, I'm sure you're going to get a top quality, amazing looking figure. There's just a couple of little nitpicks I had throughout the whole thing. Again, the articulation on mine is kind of stuck on some things. The Little Sisters are kind of hard to stand up. One subject, Omega, had the arm falling off of it, which is kind of distressing. Some of the parts look a little bit fragile, but that's kind of normal with NECA figures, so just be careful how you display them. If you don't live in an earthquake area, I don't think you're going to have to worry about it, as long as you've got a stand or something, but other places, just be careful. Also, in my opinion, again, with the Big Daddy, I think you should get the newer version, the one with the actual light-up eyes, instead of this version. And for the Big Sister, I would probably prefer the masked version over this unmasked version. But again, I think it was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. So you don't really have to buy it, and probably the masked version will be more plentiful, as this version is supposedly more harder to find. So that's all I have to say. I hope you guys liked it. If you haven't played Bioshock, then what are you waiting for? Go out and play it. And that's all for now. And I'll see ya.